Rogue planet. Noun. A celestial body not bound to a star, expelled from the planetary system in which they formed. Abandoned. A deep space salvage vessel, the Cortez, makes its way towards a rogue planet named Lonely Orphan. Its crew, comprised of 8 members, are in hypersleep, a period known as ZOM time, where their basic motor functions and thinking abilities can be used to perform small, simple tasks. Most of this time, however, is spent inside of their designated pods, unconscious. The crew of the Cortez are heading towards this desolate world because a signal has been picked up, and there is also the prospect of a massive payload. A world such as this one is commonly littered with scrap, and provides a golden opportunity for salvagers. When they are close to reaching Lonely Orphan, the crew are roused from their slumber to begin preparations for entering the rogue planet's orbit. What they find upon waking is rather strange. It's snowing on board their ship. At first, it's theorized by the ship's mechanic, Nate Franco, that a problem with the on-board environmental systems has occurred. He is ordered by the ship's captain, Joel Norris, to get it fixed ASAP. Captain Norris is a man not fond of surprises. The medical officer, Gloria Enright, states that during her hypersleep she dreamed of snow. This is, however, dismissed by the ship's pilot, Sean Isaacs, who states that nobody dreams during ZOM time. So why is this happening? Where did the snow come from? Unfortunately for the crew of the Cortez, they're about to find out that flakes of snow where there should be none are the least of their troubles in the story of Rogue Planet. Rogue Planet is a 5-book series published by Oni Press. It was written by Cullen Bunn, drawn by Andy MacDonald, and coloured by Nick Filardi. This video will cover Book 1 in the series, and will contain spoilers. As Beware the Q is a speculative evolution and biology channel, we won't be focusing too much on the story here and will, instead, be taking a look at the alien species and other horrifying lifeforms present within the pages of the book. Most of them are quite disturbing, and they don't have names. At least, they haven't yet been given names in Book 1 of the series. Let's start with something more mild. The planet's natives. They're very humanoid in appearance. They have light greenish-blue skin and no visible hair. The eyes are large and completely black. These beings strongly resemble the grey aliens of our own UFO lore. The cranium is large, and there don't seem to be any ears or a nose, at least none that can be seen. They have, like us, 5 digits on each hand. They have 2 arms and 2 legs. They seem to be variously depicted with 3 toes on each foot, and also 5, but that's comic books for you. They seem to be in possession of some sort of drug, which takes away the fear of the being about to be sacrificed, but nothing else is revealed about it in Book 1. No doubt, more light will be shed on this later on in the series. They live on the planet Lonely Orphan, and seem to live a tribal lifestyle. They seem like nice beings at the beginning of the story, but it's not long before we find out that they're fond of sacrificing their young to their gods. Now this is nothing we haven't seen before here on Earth, but the thing they're offering sacrifices to has, thankfully, never been seen here. It appears to be a gigantic flesh tower. It's covered with eyes, teeth and tentacles. Standard cosmic horror fare. It's unknown whether this disgusting living flesh tower is an independent being or part of a larger organism, or a part of the planet itself. Lonely Orphan is a seemingly intelligent world, one that lures spacefaring vessels in with false distress signals. It could be that the rogue planet is in fact a living planet. The flesh tower requires sacrifice, and, while a small child seems to be enough for now, the child's father tells him, as he lay dying, that greater sacrifices will be made of those who the false signal beckons. On another part of the planet, the Cortez has touched down, and the crew are walking towards the origin of what they believe to be the distress signal. It's stated by one crew member that these signals are usually approximate and not exact, and so leaving the ship and walking is a necessity. The environment on Lonely Orphan is a hostile one. Razor rock, treacherous footing, and poisonous vapours are everywhere. This world has no planetary system or star to call its own. It is, as stated by the native tribal alien near the beginning, a forbidden place. The crew walks for a while and comes across groups of large crystals that seem to be giving off heat. The crew are in awe of the way they glow and how they respond to touch. But it's not long before a member of the crew notices that they're being stalked, and then comes across a mass spaceship graveyard with yet more giant crystals protruding from the vast wreckage. That's when they hear what sounds like breathing, deep and loud. They venture a little further out and find the root of this unsettling noise. It's a pair of gigantic lungs, or that's what the crew takes them for. Are they the living planet's lungs? They don't attack the crew and remain stationary, continuing their loud, laboured breathing. The crew continues. Inside of a cavern, they find what looks like a warning scrawled across the walls in an alien language, seemingly the same language spoken by the natives. But then they're interrupted by a rush of strong wind and the appearance of another gigantic, monstrous being. This one is long and snake-like, the same pink flesh colour as the flesh tower, again covered with teeth and eyes. This thing is completely independent and mobile, at least it seems to be. It has an untold number of small tentacles. As it swiftly passes overhead, it grabs Jimmy, one of the crew members. It takes him, binds him with its many small wriggling appendages, and then Jimmy is gone. The crew are, understandably, in shock. And the shock continues to grow when the crew spots 4 figures ahead of them. They look normal enough from the neck down, but yeah. They don't attack the crew, but instead they just stand there motionless. It's theorized by the crew that these things are being used in the same manner as scarecrows. They are able to move past them. Later on, they encounter a creature that is capable of movement, a sort of giant scorpion made out of human bones and organs. It attacks the crew, but after a struggle, they're able to subdue it. This isn't the end of the story, however, and with 4 more books in the series, there are bound to be many, many more horrifying entities that the crew of the Cortez must contend with. A big thank you to you for watching, and a special thanks goes out to my members and patrons. If you like what I do here on the channel and would like to support me, you can do so by signing up to the Patreon, or by becoming a member here on YouTube. This has been Beware the Q, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a happy Halloween.